would you like to captain and play in this current team?
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting, especially the pace up top and the goals. And I would have liked to have worked with Ange, if I'm honest. And I worked with Brendan, I had the luxury to work with him. So I'd have, maybe hindsight, stayed another year and worked with Brendan, but I'd already, Ange, sorry, but I'd already made up in my mind that I was leaving. So once my head makes a decision, it always sticks by it. And whether it was right or wrong, I went for it, and I got the opportunity, obviously, to become a manager from that opportunity.
That would have been interesting, you under Ange, actually.
I probably wouldn't have played as much, and I understood that side of it. But I'd have liked to have seen what his training sessions were like and what he was like day to day as well. Because to be fair on him, he accepted me down to Tottenham.
All right.
So we phoned him up to see if I would be able to get in, and Chris Davis was down there at the time, and he asked Ange, and he was like, "Yeah, and you come." So I went down for 3 days and seen what he was like as a person and what he was like the training sessions, and that it was impressive.
What is he like as a person?
He's quite
aloof.
Yeah, he's quite chilled. He stays away. He watches from the distance, and everything he takes, writes little notes, goes back into his room, and he's in there. But like what he expects is respect from everybody, hard work, but also to buy into what he wants them to do and tell you what everyone really does. And he speaks really, really passionate and really well about it as well.
I would love to. I mean, this might shock you. I'm not actually a manager, but I'd love to go down and watch managers. And let's see, when I hear people go and visit, that'd be class. Just you literally just go and watch for 3, take notes.
Yeah, I went there. I went Davy Moyes as well.
All right.
So it was good, and then went into Leeds and went into another couple of clubs as well. So for me, when I was kind of in between jobs at the time, so I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Might as well go and learn. And like speaking to Davy Moyes, and I obviously knew Davy from being down in Liverpool and stuff like that. So I had the luxury to go in and speak to him and watch him train as well. And it was brilliant to get the insight of Premier League clubs and what they expect and what we expected at Celtic as well, and kind of compare as well.
What about this one?
How does the training grounds and all that compare?
West Ham,
top.
No,
struggling.
Wrong. Spurs, unbelievable. Like Spurs, Leicester was supposed to be unbelievable as well, but I never got to Leicester's. But that's supposed to be a joke as well as what Spurs was. But Spurs, I was walking going, when did the pitches end?
Really?
But the building, honestly, I've not seen like hotels this size. It was just everything was inch perfect.
That stadium they've got as well.
Stadium's great.
It might be one of the best in the world, probably.
It probably is if you're looking at it.
What about this one? Neil Murphy. Did Scott ever come close to leaving Celtic during his peak years at the club? There must have been interest from down south.
Neil, good question.
Thanks, Neil.
I had the opportunity to go to Newcastle and Spurs, and the one at Spurs was first or second year when I was at Celtic. I think I got Player of the Year, can't remember.
08 or 09 or something like that.
It would have been one of them. And Harry Redknapp.
He'd have been manager then?
Obviously, he was the manager at the time and spoke, and they had the opportunity to go down, but nothing really properly came of it. Then the Newcastle one was full on and got an offer and everything. Then Lenny's got the job, and having that respect for Lenny and what he helped me when we were coming through and how good he was under Gordon as well. And I was never really wanted to go anywhere, but I had that kind of, if you can go down to England, you can go and play. And hindsight, it could have went down and played in England, it could have went really well, or it could have went another way. So you never really know. But as I say, I never look back and go, I wish I would have done that, because I really don't. I enjoyed my time, and I think I made the right decisions at the right time.
There was a moment, though, wasn't there?
There's a few moments.
I'm thinking of this.
Tony Mowbray. Oh, shock. Yeah, I would have left. I think his assistant as well. No Vino. But at that time, we weren't really great. Nobody was really enjoying the team and being part of it and stuff like that. And it was hard. And what's his name? I can't remember his first choice. But he came in the press and says that he would happily drive me down wherever he wanted.
Really?
And I was like, all right, aye. So
we've talked about this briefly earlier on. Why would he go his way to do that? I mean, that just seems.
Initially, you were told, weren't you, before the Christmas period, that you should find yourself a new club in January?
So it was one of those ones I was like, right. When somebody says it to you, like, can I go home? You're like, did I go and find myself a new club, or did I just like stick down and go and
I'll be
give it a go? And to be fair, I was longer than what he was. I missed the last part of obviously Tony being there, and due to injury and stuff like that, and it was it was one of those things, and you obviously wanted better players in at the time and thought you could get better players in, and we weren't on a good run, and they were going to play St Mirren, and I think I was 4 weeks with injury and stuff like that, so they went a few games and got beat, and then that was
Was that not the 4-0 game?
Yeah.
And did you not play right back or something? You played right back?
No, Aidan played left back. I was injured. I was watching it in the house going,
Oh, were you?
And then the next day, so I went to go in and I got a speeding ticket. So I ended up pulled to court, and I didn't even know what was happening. So I was at court doing, obviously, I wasn't speeding. I was doing 71 mile an hour at the time. So ends up cameras and all that starts running at me. I'm going, it's not that bad. And like, Tony got sacked. What do you say? And I'm like, I'm off ski. I was like straight out of there early doors.
But the weirdest thing, right? And you talk about moments of fate and how divine intervention, whatever. Tony Mowbray tells you in December you're out. The story comes out. I think I might have written the story.
Another one
a few weeks later. Aye, but remember Celtic did. They got you to put out a statement, forced you to sign a statement, basically saying the story wasn't true. And then on the back of all that, when you come back, Kilmarnock away, it was Robbie Keane's first game.
Yeah.
That was when you get the armband, and it was almost as if just that story wasn't right.
I think they offered Robbie the armband, and I think to be fair on Robbie was like, look, I'm here alone. He was like, I didn't really.
Well, that's quite